In this tutorial, we want to generate an array based on the difference between two other arrays. So let me show you what I mean. So I have two arrays here. My first array 1 has a list of arrays, and this is probably our main array. And in our second array here, we have an array of items to delete from this main array here. So how would we go about doing this? Let's create a function, and we'll call this getArraySetDifference here. And this function is going to take two arguments. The first argument is going to be the main array, and the second one is going to be the delete array, or the array that we'll use to delete from the main array. So we'll name this one delete array. All right, so here we'll just return the main array, and we can use the filter method here to iterate through our main array. So we'll call filter. And this will filter out anything that we describe within the filter. And the filter takes a function as an argument. And we'll use arrow functions here to keep things nice and neat. And we'll say item. And that's going to be our iterator. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So what do we want to filter into our new array? That's going to be anything that's not included in this array 2 or delete array list. So we can use a not exclamation mark here, and we'll say delete, so del array, and we can use the includes method here. And we want to see if in our delete array, the item, the current item in the filter is included. So we can say item here. Okay, so let's just run that. We'll create a little test area here. Test. There we go. And we'll say console log get array set difference. And we need our two arguments. Our first argument is our main array. So it's going to be this one up here. So we'll say array 1 and then array 2. Awesome. And let's save. And let's run the code. We can use Control-Alt-N, or we can right click and hit run code here in VS Code. And now we've got 1, 3, and 5 remaining. So we've got 2, 4, and 6, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here in our main array. So we expect to see 1, 3, and 5 in our new array that we've generated that's returned from the getArraySetDifferences. All right, let's try another little example with some text here. As you can see, I have been playing way too much Baldur's Gate 3, but this gives us a good example of an inventory list that we may want to be selling a bunch of items, so we're losing items out of our inventory list. And what items are we going to drop or sell? Let's create an array 4 now, and then we'll go ahead and console log this. So console.log, well actually, let's be lazy. Let's copy this, paste it in here, and this is array 3 for our main array, and array 4 for our next array here. And let's hit save, and then Control-Alt-N to run. And you can see 135 has been working fine up here. Yep. And then in our next one, what do we have here? We've got spoon, health potions, and apple. So what we're selling is our eyeball and potion of speed, but we've got spoon, health potion, and apple remaining. Spoon, health potion, apple remaining in our inventory. Sweet. It's exactly what we want to keep. Alternatively, there is another equally good solution that I've seen, and it looks a little bit like this. So let's just comment this return statement here, and we will return and say main array again, and we still want to filter, and we want to filter our item by item, and a little arrow function here. And this time around, instead of using the include statement, we're going to want to see if there is an available index or a location in this main array, or if there is an available location in this delete array where our current item might match. So we can use the delete array again. We're going to call that, and we're going to use the oldie but goodie index of, well, no, if index of method here. And this is going to take a search string, which is going to be our current item in the iterated filter. So item. And if this is equal to -1, so it means anything that if it doesn't exist in the delete item array, it will return a -1, then we want to keep it and return it in our get array set difference. So let's hit save again and run a little test on that. Control N. And again, we've got 1, 3, and 5, spoon, health potion, and apple. That's what we want remaining. Excellent. That's all well and good, but there's a little problem with this common solution that might catch you up. And let me describe the problem here by providing a new set of arrays. Okay, so here in array 5 and array 6, I have a list of arrays, but it's not a set. So what I mean by set means they're individual unique items in the array. There are duplicate items in this array. And again, in our delete item, there's duplicate items as well. What do you think is going to be returned when we try and set our array 5 against our array 6? Well, let's find out. So let's grab this console log up here and put this in here. And we'll change this to 5. Oh, that's 35. That's not going to work. And we'll change this one to 6 and hit save. And we will use our Control Alt N again. And up top here, I've got 1, 3, 5 as our last solution. Just to make sure things aren't confusing for you, let me just comment that one out and comment this one out. Hit save and Control N again. And now we've just got this final comment here, which is here. So what's going on? Is this what you anticipated with this solution? Well, probably not, because all we wanted is for the first 2 to be removed from this delete array, and then another 4. If there's another 4 here, we want it removed, and if there's another 4 again, we want it removed, and if we want to remove a 6. Imagine it's your Baldur's Gate inventory, and you've got multiple items in there, and you're only selling 1 or 2 of those items, but you want to keep some of those items as well. Exactly the same thing, but this function is not going to solve that problem. So how do we resolve for this? Let's create a new function. So function, and this is going to be called get array difference. Okay, again, it's going to take the same arguments as above here, this main array and delete array. What we need to do is when we're iterating through this delete array, or when we find an item in this delete array, the next time we iterate through our main array in our filter, we want to delete the found item, so it doesn't continue to delete the same items over and over again. Instead of deleting the items on the delete array, we're going to create a new array that we can muck around with. So let's create a variable here for this array. And we are going to nerd out because I looked this up in Wikipedia, but the item that you subtract from can be called the subtrahend item. And I found that weirdly enjoyable, so I'm going to add it here. Sorry for the nerd out. Okay, so we're going to use the spread operator here to generate a new array, and we'll say del for delete, and that's our delete array we're going to chuck in there. And now we can modify this array here. So now we're going to return, and we will say main array. So we're going to say main array dot filter again, and we'll put in our item. Oh, me item, and we're going to do a bit of work on this item, so we can't make it a single line. It'll look pretty messy and confusing. First thing we want to add is a constant variable here, and this is going to be the delete index, or delete idx, del idx. That's going to be equal to the subtrahend and the index of it. So index of. Why am I putting it up here instead of inline? It's because I'll be referring to it twice. So this may as well just put it in once up the top. Yeah. Cool. Nice. Now we need to create an if statement here. So the first condition is that if the item is not found, then we're going to return the item to create the new array showing the difference. On the other condition, we want to splice the subtrahend and remove that current item that was found. So the next time through, it's not in the list, so it won't continue to delete the same matching item. So we'll say if del index is equal to -1. So that index of is equal to -1. What do we want to do? We want to return the item to the filter. Else, what do we want to do? Otherwise, we want to rebuild the subtrahend array. So subtrahend dot, and we use the splice method here. And that's going to take the del index. So it's the current index it's iterated on because it's been successful, and then it's going to just delete the first item, so the current item. Delete of 1. Nice. Hit save. Cool. I don't think we made any mistakes. Let's have a go. All right, let's give this a console log here. Console log. And we'll say get array difference. First one is going to be array 5 again, that one that we had trouble with. And then array 6. Okay, so just for reference, array 5 is this one, array 6 is this one here. Alright, I think we're good to go. Now remember there's going to be this, the erroneous version that's going to print out first, and then the correct version is going to print out afterwards. So keep that in mind. So Control N, and let's see what happened here. Okay, so in the erroneous version, it's just producing 1, 3, and 5, but if we scroll up, in the correct version, or we hope it's correct, the array that we're keeping contains a 1. Yeah, 1's not in there. We have 3 2's here, and we want to delete one of those 3. So it's only keeping 2 2's, yeah. And then 3 isn't touched here, so that's fine, it stays. 4, 2 of the 4's are in our delete list, and there's 2 4's in delete list, so there should be no 4's in our new array, correct. 5 isn't touched, so that remains. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 6's. And in our delete list, we have 1 6 to delete, and that should give us 3 remaining 6's, which is correct here. Cool. Our inventory management system is working as needed. That's it for getting the array difference in JavaScript. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more tutorials like this, subscribe. Until next time.